What if your entire life was a lie? What if the person you trusted most was the one who built your prison? And what if the only way to survive was to become everything they feared? Welcome to BookShortz, where we bring books to life, one thrilling story at a time. Today we dive into The Drowning Game by Barbara Nickless, a fast-paced psychological thriller that grabs you by the throat and doesn't let go. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this mind-bending journey if you're into intense plots, unforgettable characters, and twists that hit like a freight. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because here at BookShortz we turn pages into experiences. Let's get into it. They trained her to kill. They locked her in a mansion. They made her fear the world, but they couldn't control her forever. From the opening page of The Drowning Game by Barbara Nickless, we're thrown into the heart of chaos and danger. This isn't just a thriller. It's a pulse-pounding ride into the mind of a woman who's never been free, who doesn't understand the rules of the world outside her walls, but is forced to survive in it anyway. Her name is Wren, and she is unlike any heroine you've ever met. Wren was raised in total isolation. She's brilliant, artistic, and deadly. Her father, known to her only as Tate, kept her locked inside a fortified estate for her entire life. He told her the outside world was dangerous, that people would come to harm her, that she couldn't trust anyone. But Tate didn't just want to protect Wren. He wanted to mold her into a weapon, a masterpiece, his twisted creation. When Tate is suddenly kidnapped in a violent home invasion, everything changes. Wren is forced to venture into the outside world for the first time to find him. She has no idea how to interact with people. She's never used a cell phone. She can barely function in society. But she has skills that most people don't. She knows how to hunt, how to fight, how to read danger in every twitch and shadow. Wren isn't lost. She's unleashed. But there's one major complication. A man named Gideon, a former soldier with demons of his own. Gideon is the bodyguard Tate hired before the kidnapping, and the only person who might be able to help Wren navigate this terrifying new reality. At first, Wren wants nothing to do with him. She doesn't trust him. She doesn't trust anyone. But soon, their fates become tied together in a game that could cost them both their lives. As Wren and Gideon set off across the country to find her father, they uncover a labyrinth of secrets that stretch far beyond anything Wren could have imagined. There are people watching them, tracking them, wanting to use Wren for their own ends, because Wren's not just a lost girl looking for her father. She's the key to something bigger, a conspiracy that goes deep into the roots of her past. Wren begins to question everything she was taught. Was her father really trying to protect her? Or was he keeping her prisoner for a darker purpose? As she pieces together fragments of her past, memories begin to surface. A strange facility, cold rooms, doctors, tests, other children. Wren realizes that Tate might not even be her real father, that her entire life could be a carefully constructed lie. As the story unfolds, we see the world through Wren's eyes. Sharp, artistic, and wild. She's both fragile and feral, brilliant and broken. Her mind processes things differently. She doesn't just see the world, she paints it in detail. Her sketches are more than art, they're memory. And sometimes, they're the only clues she has. But Wren's journey isn't just about uncovering the truth. It's about transformation, about reclaiming her identity, about understanding who she is when she's no longer someone else's creation. Through every betrayal and every act of violence, Wren evolves from a confused and sheltered girl into a woman who owns her power. Meanwhile, Gideon wrestles with his own past. Haunted by guilt and driven by a need for redemption, he becomes both protector and partner. He learns to see Wren not as a job, but as someone who challenges him in ways he never expected. Their relationship is tense, fragile, and filled with undercurrents of emotion. Two damaged souls navigating a world that wants to destroy them. The title, The Drowning Game, is no coincidence. Throughout the novel, the theme of drowning repeats, physically, emotionally, psychologically. Wren is constantly submerged in situations she doesn't understand, barely able to breathe, struggling to survive. But she doesn't drown. She fights, she rises, again and again. One of the most compelling elements of the story is its pacing. The plot races forward, packed with narrow escapes, brutal confrontations, and mind-bending revelations. Every chapter pulls you deeper into Wren's story. Just when you think you've figured things out, another layer peels back, and you realize you've only scratched the surface. Barbara Nickless masterfully balances action with introspection. She doesn't just give us a thriller, she gives us a character study wrapped in high-stakes danger. Wren's voice is unforgettable, raw, poetic, and often heartbreaking. Her innocence is startling, her rage is justified, her determination is unshakable. As Wren and Gideon close in on the truth, the stakes escalate. The people behind Tate's disappearance are powerful and dangerous. They're not just criminals. They're part of an underground network with ties to human experimentation, military contracts, and black market intelligence. And Wren was never just a daughter. She was an asset, a prototype. In a climactic series of events, Wren must make impossible choices. Save the man who raised her, or expose the truth and bring everything crashing down. She learns that freedom comes at a cost, that sometimes justice isn't clean, that survival isn't the same as peace. By the final pages, Wren is no longer running. She's hunting. She's no longer a girl with questions. She's a woman with answers, and she's ready to burn the world down if that's what it takes to stay free. The Drowning Game isn't just a story about a kidnapping. It's a story about trauma, control, and the desperate need to reclaim your voice. It's a story about power, who has it, who abuses it, and what happens when the person you tried to break becomes stronger than ever. This book will pull you under and refuse to let go. It's intense, gripping, and full of emotional punch. If you're looking for a heroine who doesn't fit the mold, a plot that never slows down, and a story that dares to go deep into the dark, The Drowning Game will not disappoint. Barbara Nickless has created a world that is as brutal as it is beautiful, filled with pain but driven by hope. And Wren, with her fire and her scars, will stay with you long after the final chapter ends. If you want to listen full audiobook for free, link in description. Thank